Welcome back to Sip the Tally Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today we're going to take a look at the maturation of Roger Rosengarten. See, I got it right. But coming out of the draft from the University of Washington, there were some positives and negatives I thought Roger Rosengarten had, and when it navigate his rookie season, these were some of the things hopefully he can improve on and just totally eliminate. So the positive I had for Roger Rosengarten coming out was he had great feet, great agility, great speed for offensive linemen, and very active hands. And keep in mind, he played right tackle for Washington, and they had a left-handed quarterback, so he's technically the left tackle for Washington. Keep that in mind. The negatives were he wasn't strong enough because he had a really slim build. Played too high, and he just didn't run block enough in college. Those were the positives and the negatives I had for Roger Rosengarten. But once he got his chance to be a full-time starter for the Baltimore Ravens when Voorhees got hurt and they moved McCarry, he did nothing but got better each and every week. And I think Christmas afternoon, in my eyes, was Roger Rosengarten's coming out party. Let's take a look at some of his blocks versus the Houston Texans and see, so I can kind of explain to you what I see and the positive nature of what Roger Rosengarten has for us, whether it be staying at right tackle or eventually moving to left tackle. Let's get to the film. All right, let's get into this Roger Rosengarten film. So if you're new here and you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. Really like it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you can be notified when the rest of this content drops throughout this 2024/2025 playoff run. Let's get into it. All right, again, a few sample plays of what I liked about Roger Rosengarten versus the Houston Texans. And to me, he's growing up. That's the term I want to use. He's growing up. Let's get into it. Roger's the right tackle, so I'm not going to highlight him every play, but let's dive into it. Real quick set, which we know, from his positives that he has great agility, great speed. So he's on his second crossover step, which I ain't too fond of, before the defensive end gets out of his break. Cut him off at the path. Now he takes an initial shock here, but it's right back in the fight. Hands inside, pushing him past the pocket, because if you push him past, your quarterback should have the opportunity to step up. So great job. And keep in mind, Houston has two premier edge rushers. Will Anderson and I want to say Daniil Hunter. Definitely Will Anderson. But they got two guys with over 10 plus sacks. And so he was one of the positions I was worried about in the game. Take it here. Now, we talked about him like not having enough strength, and I always harp on like we need guys that can move people. Well, Roger impressed me with this one by moving this guy. That's what I'm talking about. Derrick Henry right off of it. A great down block. Helmet on the shoulder pads. What we call on down block, we call it bite the shoulder pads. I mean, put your face mask on that shoulder pad. That's great leverage. Great leverage by 70. Derrick Henry coming right off of it. Got McCarry on the pull. Does a great job of not letting 93 cross his face. And that motion from Zay. Now, this is where that agility comes in the focus. This is toward how you say it, Henry toward. He's about 6 yards away from Rosengarten. Now, you don't have to be the strongest of person, but we always talk about how we don't have strong guys up front. Well, all these traps that we ran Wednesday, they were about leverage. Weren't about strength. We're about finding the proper leverage, making sure that guy don't cross your face, and you should have a running lane, which is, we did a lot of traps and a lot of them work because you don't have to move people, just work on the leverage. Make sure you get your head and hands in the right spot. And this is one of those things. Already up on the linebacker. And again, I talked about, you don't have to move people. Look at those blocks at this screen grab. Look at those blocks. Nobody's had to move anybody. It's just about leverage. It's all about leverage. And look, Derrick Henry got multiple opportunities to run through different holes. And then I like what Roger, stays with it. Linebacker kind of gets away from him. He chases him down. Derrick Henry cuts right off of it. Finishing your play. Love what I saw of the 70 this game. Great job. Remember, we talked about not being the strongest. Watch. Hands inside. Trying to pound. Defensive guy is trying to use his hands to get around. Roger Rosengarten has a great hold on him, though. Now look at that. Look where the hole is, right off of Rosengarten. Because he holds the point. He wasn't doing that earlier in the season. Holding the point. He's gotten better. He's gotten stronger. Technique's gotten better. Hands gotten better. Every aspect of his game, in my point of view, has gotten better. And we all know his agility. Him and Tyler Linderbaum are two of probably the most agile linemen in the NFL. Look at that. Look, understands angles too. He don't go straight at the guy. He's working out here to beat him to the point. Understanding angles, that matters a lot on this outside zone run, or this toss rather. And because he understands angles, look at him cut him off at the point. Now, we should have a nice run. Should have that blocked up. Likely kicking that out. Ricard kicking that out. We should have a run. Should. Likely just don't finish. Now, Rosengarten understands angles, understands to get to where the linebacker is going to be, not where he's at. Now, this don't supposed to be on here because it's something I tweeted out yesterday. But watch Bate. Watch what Bateman do to Will Anderson. Bam. That had nothing to do with Roger Rosengarten. I just forgot to take it out of the cut. But it's always good to see wide receivers being physical, especially a guy that gets so much heat for being not physical. Just leave it at that. Again, working up to the second level. It's all agility right here. All agility. I find my mouse. There it is. And he knows where the run's coming. He's just getting in place. It's another one of those traps. And it's not about moving people. It's just getting where you're supposed to be, finding the proper leverage, and holding that leverage long enough for the back to get through. And again, cuts right off of him. And again, his guy makes the tackle, but you get where I'm going with it. Is that the same play? Hold on. Did I skip one? Oh, yeah, I went too far back. My bad. Here we go. That same trap. All right, this is our new one. Moving people. Again, couldn't move guys early in the season. Watch him take this guy and watch him down. Moving guys. That opens up the gap. McCarty came around the pool. Josh Jones getting on the second level backer. But because Rosengarten got movement, it opens up the whole play. It opens up the whole play. It just expands the hole. And it makes it easier for pullers to come around. Makes it easier for the back to get up in there. You just got to move guys. Now, we don't do this a lot, but it's good to see him being able to do this some. Like, look how fast he gets there as a puller. He's so fluent in his motions. No false steps. Coming through full speed. Bam. Taking the guy on. This dude, man, the potential for a 70 is very high. Potential for 70 is very high, especially now that he can move people and like on down blocks. That was like that to me. That was the biggest weakness in his game, and avoid guys that bull rushing, like those strong defensive ends, like when Chris Jones or one of the guys can straight bull rushing. Those was two weaknesses, and he's gotten better at both of those. Now, speaking of, I spoke it up. I knew it was in here somewhere. I just didn't know exactly where. Will Anderson just gets up under him. He gets better leverage on him. Watch this. He tries to push him inside, and Will just gets up under him and totes him right back there to the back. So that's Will pushing Roger Rosengarten straight into Keith Mitchell and making the tackle. It ain't all great now. It's mostly great, mostly good, but it ain't all great. So I just wanted to throw some negative in that too, so it wouldn't make it seem like that he is the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, he still got a lot of stuff to work on. But that move was tried earlier in the game. And I think it's on here. I'll show you what happened earlier in the game. But watch the way he sorted this thing out with Falele, this stunt. See it early. Pass it off. Had the agility to get back. And look at that lane. Because the lane for Lamar to either run or step up. Because Roger Rosengarten was able to sort that out with Falele and then push the guy past the quarterback. Yeah, moving guys. And I know Anderson tried to slant on him, but if a guy cross your face and you allow him to cross your face, he needs to go way across your face. So if you allow him to get inside you, you need to push him so far down that whoever's carrying the ball can see it. And in this case, it worked because he was running counter. Because he wanted to slant inside. That just helped Rosengarten wash him down, which opened up both fullers to come through and the back to come through. Right here. So I'm going to wash you down. Now look at that space. Now just the thing is, 77 supposed to kick that out. That's what, and he was confused. That's part of the problem. And then 79 was supposed to wrap up to where 77 went. So Falele screwed that up, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, Falele supposed to kick the first thing smoking. First thing out here. Why he turning back? Don't know. If he kicked that out, Ronnie come around right there, Derek come around right behind him. Falele got confused, went inside, left an unblocked dude. But we talking about Rogers today. Again, moving guys at the point of attack. Something that he wasn't doing earlier in the season. Look at that. Hands inside, biting the shoulder pad. And now he's a little bit too high now. Granted, he's too high. The defensive defender is up under him, leverage-wise. But then he adjusts. Look at him lower his back and try to run him up out of there. Just keep fighting and rooting him out of there. And again, the space he creates by doing that, like the pull, like look at all this space Ronnie got to work with. All that space Ronnie got to work with, all the space Derek got to work with. And Derek gets a little bit impatient because Ronnie went too wide. So Ronnie got to try to curl back to Christian Harris. And Derek like, get out the way, man. And it's all because Rosengarten is now down blocking and creating space or creating wider space for the pullers to get through there. And I'm not a huge fan of us running counter and power with him doing that, but it was fine yesterday. All right, this is the likely touchdown. Again, this one wasn't supposed to be in there. Likely touchdown again. Something I was doing on Twitter. All right, so that's it. That's the gist of what I got for you with Roger Rosengarten. I appreciate everybody for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. And again, at the beginning of his career, I felt like Roger was too weak, didn't work enough in the run game, just needed some bricks in his pocket. But his positives were good feet, athletic, great pass pro. But over the course of his rookie campaign, especially since he's become a full-time starter, he's gotten better every week. And I think he has the potential to be one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL by year 3 or 4 if he continues to get better, on a week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis. So I appreciate you guys coming out, man. Thank y'all again. Happy holidays. Peace and love. See y'all soon.